Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of The Chord. Now, right through this month and probably the next month also, we are having a different genre coming in, and it's about K-pop. We all know it started with Gangnam Style and Psy came and made it popular all around the world. But K-pop has slowly been getting a lot of attention with bands such as, Blackpink. Black or Pink, we're not very sure, but the band is called Blackpink. Of course, it's a woman's band, but that's what we're talking about right now. We're talking about a band called BTS, and that's what we have for you when it comes to K-pop. Right through this month, BTS is what we have for you on The Chord. Now, looking at South Korea as a country and then North Korea, they were Koreans once, yes, but apparently it was definitely Psy who got them on the stage when it comes to a global scenario. But what is the band BTS all about? Well, understand one thing, where they started and what they have done, social media had a major impact, and that is what made them who they are. Now, it's a septet. That means you have 7 band members who are part of this group. But did it start that way? Not really. What happened was that there was this guy who literally saw talent in one man who was rapping all the time. Now, let's figure out how this band really became popular. First of all, it's South Korea. Do they really rap there? Of course they do. Now, RM is supposed to be a guy who's got amazing skills when it comes to rapping. I think they call it something else these days when it comes to the freestyling. That's what it's called in the day, but right now it's called rapping because freestyling has become rapping eventually. But anyway, what happened was there was this one CEO of a big time recording company who saw RM and said, my God, this guy has got amazing skills. So he also understood one thing. Now, there's another band called One Time, and the name is 1TYM. Now, what does BTS stand for? We'll tell you what that is. But the whole point is One Time started with an entertainment company called YG Entertainment. And eventually it was RM who was a singer and also a star when it came to the CEO of Big Time Records. Eventually they realized that they had to do something. Now, the CEO thought to himself that he needs someone who can get the contemporary public interested in one way, a hero where they can lean their shoulders on. That means they were talking about one thing, social issues. They were also singing about something else. That was, you being someone who cannot gel with the people around you and so on and so forth. So all about individuality and stuff like that. But still, it was one man taking the show. What happened with social media was that 7 of them started putting their videos on YouTube, became famous in South Korea. The septet came together, and 2011 they decided to call themselves, BTS. Now, the main guy in this whole group, his name is RM. So before he even started thinking about a group's name, he thought about one thing. If I have a group coming together, it'd like to be something that everybody can relate to. Now, South Korea, you have a place called Bangtan, and so it became the Bangtan Boys. From there, it became BTS. Now, what does T stand for is a question that everybody's asking. I can't really answer because I can't find it anywhere, but BTS is what the band's name is. 7 guys coming together. Now, what does that give you a hint of? Something that happened back in the day. Boy bands, right? When you saw them, there were 5 people coming together. They played no instruments. They sang well. They had good voices. And somehow, you had this huge following of youngsters who just gravitated towards the kind of music they were playing. Now, understand one thing. What were they talking about? Social issues. Now, a place like South Korea, you have to understand they have a problem in North Korea. In North Korea, there's going to be no music coming out because, of course, it's a communist country and so on and so forth. But South Korea, they started with Gangnam Style. Everybody woke up and said, oh, there's a place called South Korea and this thing is beautiful. They're talking about stuff here. And then they realized that, okay, BTS can do something different. Because after Gangnam Style, it took about 3 years for anybody to come out from that place really singing stuff. It was not a gimmick anymore. These guys were singing well, they had talent. It was time to form a group. The group was called BTS. Now, BTS, like I told you, I'm going to figure out as to how do I explain to you what the name really means. Now, back in South Korea, you have stereotypes who literally go and start pecking on adolescents. So what they decided, BTS, was to talk about what they're going through, adolescents, basically the pain or not being accepted. Now, in South Korea, apparently everybody has their own idea of the way they want to look. So the individuality comes into play, and people who are stereotyped literally go down on them and say, this is not the way you're supposed to dress. Don't pierce your nose, don't pierce your ears. What are you doing? Why your color of the hair this way and that way? And there was this growing problem with adolescents saying, we need to break out of this. And the pain they were going to was going to be addressed by this band called BTS. So, the Japanese connection is this, that they're also known with a different name in Japan, but also known as what they are in South Korea. Apparently, BTS, if you look at the name, does not have a name that you can really think of as a conclusion to what they're really all about, but they're called Bulletproof Boy Scouts. And the Bulletproof, according to J-Hope, who's one of the main guys in the band, Apparently he says, and I can't quote him, but then I know what he's talking about. He's saying that the bullets coming from stereotypes have to be vested in a different way altogether. So the bulletproof vest is about the bullets from stereotypes to adolescents. Well, this is a band I think I can look forward to. But in Japan, they call the same thing with a twist. Now we look at the similarity as to what's happening because of social media. Now Justin Bieber was not even known until the time he came on YouTube, right? He had a guitar, he was a kid, he played, his mother put the video on YouTube, he became a big hit. Today, my God, he's bigger than anything else. But the songs that he sang did not have a message. But then that's Justin Bieber. I don't know if he's got a message, but those antics that make him different. Is the same thing with BTS? Not really, because again, the members, 7 of them to be taken by a CEO of entertainment company and say, RM, you lead them on, means they have to have some kind of talent. People should love them, yes. How do they go about doing it? Like we all try to do today, social media. Now, remember, it wasn't the time of the pandemic. The pandemic happened just now. But you had these South Korean girls and boys and the teenagers looking at these guys and saying, oh my God, you're fantastic. The CEO of this company just sat down and said, RM is a fantastic rapper. He needs to get these guys coming together. He found the best of the best on social media. And then what happened? BTS. We know for a fact that when it comes to South Korea, they've got a lot of talent. In the Philippines, they have a lot of talent. Japan has got a lot of talent. All these South Asian countries have a lot of talent, but none of them have really made a mark when it comes to the world map, when it comes to music. Now, K-pop has got its own identity. It's become its own genre all of a sudden, and happened because, of course, Psy and what he did with Gangnam Style. It just went around the world as a riot. But after that, nobody really made a mark. BTS has. Now, understand one thing, where Big Hit Entertainment's CEO came and said, I think this guy has got something he can really pull off. It was RM he was talking about. Then you had J-Hope who came in. And then you had a guy called V. You have a guy called Jungkook. And then you had a couple of other guys who came in and said, let's make a name for ourselves. That guy's called Jimin. 7 of them came together and said, this is what we're going to do. We are going to try our best to make a name. But how do they do it? On social media. Eventually, what they become? A part of the big band. A boop, not really, but a big band called BTS. Now they had albums like Too Cool for School that they came out with, people could really relate to, but then it was now a mix of what was really happening. In Japan, they had a different scene going altogether. In South Korea, a different scene going altogether. But then the fans eventually came together and realized that these guys were singing about stuff that they really could relate to. Music was a part that got them together. Now, that never happened in South Korea before because Psy was about fun, right? But nobody really talked about social issues. That's what BTS tried to do, and they did it in a big scale and a nice scale. There's something called K-Con that happens in the United States where you have Korean artists coming to the States and singing and all that. They were big in South Korea, big in Japan. Well, not really had a massive following where they can play to big arenas. But when they went to America and they realized that nobody knew their music because they played for 20 people, and that's really small. The first time they played, that's in 2011 when they came out. They went back in 2016 and played to 200 people. But when they went back to Korea, they were playing to 20,000 people. They realized that there was something that had to be done to bridge the gap. What they started doing was endorsements. In Feb 2017, BTS did one thing. They came up with a new album called You'll Never Walk Alone. Now understand this. Previously, they were selling about 100,000 copies, 200,000 copies. Looking at the population of South Korea and what they had in Japan, yes, they were becoming big very fast. What they didn't realize was after this album came out, You're Never Going to Walk Alone, it connected with the people not only in South Korea but also in Japan but also other parts of the world who knew Korean and Japanese. Now, the population is one thing to think about, but when you sell 700,000 copies, when you were selling 200,000 copies the month before, that is a big leap. And that is what made BTS in a group or a part of a group that's doing K-pop in a different angle altogether. Of course, you can't compare them to a million copies sold by, Psy, but that was back in the day. Right now, if we're talking about BTS, they are selling their music. How? Through a lot of pain, pleasure and hard work, and they are relating to one thing, the people in South Korea and right around the world who are adolescents basically. Now in Feb 2017, they released You're Never Walking Alone. Now that itself is a big thing that they did because it sold about 700,000 copies. But what happens when you start becoming big, it's time to tour. That's when you know you got a fan following or not. Where did they go? They went to places like Australia, they went to England, they went to the United States, and they realized they had 550,000 following and the tickets were being sold out day after day. Wherever they went, they thought we'll start playing in small arenas, and then they started playing in stadiums. They were not prepared for what is going to happen. What happened eventually was that there was a small rift in the band when RM thought, I'm going to take this forward. The rest were taking the backstage. It happens with bands generally, especially in boy bands or girl bands also, because you have people who are favorites. What they did wrong was trying to go forward and do one thing that is not done by boy bands, rating who is better than the others. Of course, you'll have problems in here, but eventually they came back and realized it's not about ego, it's about the music and the message that should go through this medium called BTS, which is definitely South Korean. Now, we are in 2020, but trying to figure out as to where this boy band really started, because these days you don't hear about boy bands. Of course, it started with Boys to Men back in the day, and then you had Backstreet Boys who made a big hit, of course, but now looking at Septet, I mean 7 people in a band, and that too coming from Korea and making a name for themselves in today's world when everybody's listening to music that has everything to do with music, because one reason in 2020 Spotify is here. We didn't even have that back in the day when 2013 when they started. But apparently they knew what they were doing and they came up with a small formula to do what they do best, sing the songs they believe in. Apparently they talk about a lot of stuff that is really close to the heart of a lot of people who are insecure. Maybe that's what made the difference for this band called BTS. Now in 2013 they came out with an album called Too Cool for School. I think they didn't really understand what they were talking about, because right now, look at the children, they want to get back into being with their friends in any school possible. Online studies is the hit today for one reason. Well, we are in the midst of a pandemic and we can't do anything about it. I don't think with social distancing even schools are going to open. If it does also, we're not very sure about it. But to go back in 2013 and say Too Cool for School, if today it had to be released the way it was, I think it wouldn't have become a hit. But whatever be it, these guys not only sing in Korean, but they also sing in Japanese. So Too Cool for School or Too Cool for School is something you got to think about. This is what they're singing about. They're singing about anxiety, they're talking about depression, talking about being isolated from basic family issues, and also politics is one major scene when it comes to their lyrics. It doesn't really matter where you come from. You could be a band from South Korea, you could be from North Korea, you could be a band from China as well. But globally, if you are loved, that means you got something right. And that means the basic formula is in place. Now, being a band without playing music, but you're standing on stage and dancing, well, that's what boy bands are all about. But eventually from boys, you become men. And then what's going to happen to the band is something we don't really know. But the whole point is they were made into a band that was given an opportunity to become something bigger than what they were. They were given enough of backing, they were given enough time to really come and understand what they really want to do with themselves, and eventually it came to a point where they started singing about what they truly believed in. But without the backing of a huge producer, it wouldn't have happened. Now, what does BTS really mean? Apparently in Korean, it means bulletproof vest or something to do with bulletproof anyways. But understanding what they're all about, they were a big time hip hop group who decided to dance a certain way, make a persona a certain way, but now they've changed their whole image. From being youth oriented, they are more people oriented, and that's what really is something about music, right? Because everybody comes together, they understand the lyrics and they want to understand what really is going on. So they're not only singing in North Korean or South Korean, Korean basically, because they are from South Korea, not North Korea, but there's a bridge that they're doing, including the singing in Japanese. But they're going right across the world and are becoming crazy when it comes to a phenomenon. In India also, they're big. Apparently, they want to plan and come to Bombay and sing. I wonder if that's going to happen, but if it does, it's going to be great for the band called BTS. What makes BTS tick? Now, of course, they are a 7-member band, so do we know the names of all of them? I know RM, I know Jingjo is there, I know there are a lot of people there whose names you can't really understand, but what really makes them tick? They all became YouTube celebrities, and that is what really got them into the clique of this band called BTS. In the beginning, there's only one guy, he was a rapper, and then they got everybody else to come together and become this group. Now, if you have to do anything, it's marketing, not only of your songs, but your whole persona. They started as being a hip-hop group. Eventually, they became more youth-oriented, and now they're known all around the world. In fact, they've got biggest hits in the US, more than the Beatles. Can you imagine? Not really. That's what they are, BTS. When it comes to music, the most important part is to understand as to who's going to be your fan following. Now, that means the youth of today, correct? There's no two ways about it, because the elderly are listening to their kind of music and goes from one place to the other, of course. But when you have a collection or group that makes you something bigger than what you really are, then you have to connect to a different level altogether. So is music about language or is music about the tunes, about the rhythm? It has to be the rhythm, and BTS has that. Talk about hip-hop groups, it's all about the way you dress, it's about the persona, it's about the way you carry yourself, it's about what you're singing, it's about the way you dance. Of course, you got to have the moves, you got to have the rhythm, you got to have it all. But you need something else also, and that's what BTS is all about. BTS is about taking music to a different level altogether, but coming from a place like South Korea and going across the world, you need to have backing. Of course, they got backing of a big group, but somebody had to take the initiative. That something can be done in India as well. If you look at America's Got Talent, you got these big dance groups coming from places like Dharavi in Mumbai and making a name for themselves. BTS did that, but with a lot of backing, but of course from South Korea. So YouTube Prime, what they did eventually was to help a group like BTS come out with a documentary and put it out there. Now, there are a lot of independent music producers who are trying to do the best they can to get their people in the limelight. But to do that, you have to be known on social media. It could be Facebook, it could be YouTube, it can be Twitter, it can be anywhere. Now, is YouTube a place where you can really get your music across? Of course it is, because things go viral. You never know what is going to click. But BTS knew to make a documentary was to go into the future. To come to the end of this episode of The Chord, let me tell you a lot about BTS. What they talk about, what they sing about is very important. I think these guys are going to become huge in the future for one reason. They know what they're singing about, and they literally touch a nerve that only can be touched by a boy band, 7 of them in a group called BTS.